Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What's going on, people? Not much, man. In here hanging out, chilling. Chilling.
Posted up for the day. It is Say Like a Champ, episode 62. Welcome everybody in.
62.
Keeping it moving, keeping it pushing, you know what I'm saying? On a election Tuesday. So, we'll be talking about that a little bit, but, we keep it straightforward. We don't really want to get too much into politics, but it is a big day for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So go out and do your thing if you're so inclined. Yep. But how you feeling, Strizzy? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? As always, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We're an interactive podcast, so keep the comments coming, flowing, and we'll answer as best as we can. And if you're new, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We appreciate that for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll go ahead and hit the jump, but you're definitely gonna have to explain your attire a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
see what's going on with that.
We'll talk about that when we get to NFL talk. You know what I'm saying?
All right, that's what's up, fam. Let's go ahead and get it popping then.
Yes, sir.
All right, and we back.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy A-Dub.
Your boy Strizzy in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Episode 62 of Say Like a Champ podcast. It's the big Tuesday show. We're about to run down the weekend in sports, let everybody know what to do. Appreciate everybody checking in with us. And also, we got to bring in our permanent special guest, the one all around town. Myra May, San Diego. What's good?
What's up, SLACers?
What it do?
Looking very patriotic. I love it. That's what's up.
A little something.
In honor of the day. That's what's up.
Definitely in honor of the day. I did early voting because voting in Texas is very popular, especially where I'm from. So I did early voting about 2 weeks ago. So I didn't get to post my little I voted sticker today like everybody, but I did vote, but I had to rock my little American flag cap today. So
that's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yeah. In AZ, if you do the early voting, they just they send you the sticker with your ballot.
Yeah.
So even if you don't turn it in, you got the sticker.
Really?
So, what's up, Mr. Anthony Weston checking in? Very patriotic. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So all right, but yeah, so this episode will be brought to you, I guess, by Myra's American Flag Hat. And also partially too, I did want to mention this. You guys know, if you guys don't know, I am a very big Monster fiend, and I did find Monster Energy Ultra Watermelon. I am going for the sponsorship, hopefully, but it's the red and the green. So I'm gonna pop this, and this will be partially brought to you by Monster too. We'll see what's going on.
That's saying we get the sponsorship.
I'm about to taste it for the first time.
Listen, I'm gonna throw this out there too. I love energy drinks with like vodka. So that watermelon flavor with some vodka sounds absolutely amazing. Monster,
Yeah.
hit us up.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. We need to get that sponsorship, but yeah, it might go in the jug. So no shirt gang in the background. What's up? We know the family show.
Yeah.
And then we got Mallory Hudson checking in. First time Slacker. What's good? Steelers.
Hey, Mallory.
Absolutely.
We're about to get into that right now. And Anthony Weston, I'll definitely let you know what's popping with that monster in just a few seconds. So, all right. We should go ahead and get into the first topic or what?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Let's get it. What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tuned to NFL talk. Let's get it. All right. NFL talk live in full effect. We got the Week 8 recap. First, I want to start by definitely letting everybody know our Yahoo Pick'em winner was Trevor. So shout out to Trevor. Yeah.
Dude, he was almost spot on for the tie too. The score, did you see it?
No, I didn't look and see what the ultimate one was.
Yeah,
he was a couple points off.
Yeah, dude, it was like dead on. It was like I can't remember what it was, but he was like damn near spot on, man.
Very
like
close.
if it came down to a tiebreaker, I knew he was going to win. It was insane.
Yeah, definitely. There was 3 people in the tiebreaker. Go ahead, Mara.
I did absolutely horrible on our You Pick'em League. I think I got like 4 games right. It was horrible. Like,
yeah. No, you got more. I got 5, and I think you got 6. I was the worst, buddy, and it was bad.
I looked at it Sunday night and I was like, this is terrible. Like, in games that should not have gone that way went that way, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm done for. There's no gaining room on this week. It was an absolute disaster.
It was horrible.
Well, I was going to say that there was a lot of upsets this week, and then the ones that weren't upsets, I picked upsets. So it was just all bad for me.
It's terrible.
But Strizzy, how'd you feel?
Oh man, I was saying with y'all, I didn't do very well either. A lot of upsets this week. So that kind of screwed me. You know, a lot of us with the games that we pretty much thought should have won, and they ended up getting upset. So, but yeah, I don't remember how I did exactly, but I think I'm still in 5th place or something like that. I think.
Got you.
Well, I hope everybody had a crappy pick'em week just like me, so that way I don't slip too far.
Well, I think it was Let Me Get To again, my boy Anthony, and then it was Trevor, and then my mom actually were the ones in the tiebreaker. So
okay, mama.
Shout out to them, shout out to moms. I was kind of pulling for her. Sorry, Trevor, you know what I'm saying? But
little bias.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll be right back at it, you know what I'm saying? I definitely got to do better next week. I'm gonna try my best. But I did want to talk about a few games, and I did want Strizzy to talk real quick. So let's start with kind of the marquee matchup of the week. The Steelers, they stay undefeated. They outlasted the Baltimore Ravens. What's Gucci?
No, I'm jumping on the Steelers bandwagon. No, I was playing. Nah, man, look, don't gamble, kids. Don't gamble. It definitely goes against you when certain. But my homie Mallory, she is a Steelers fan, obviously. You know, the Ravens are my AFC squad. So we had a little gamble going on that if Steelers won, I'd wear some Steeler attire. And if the Ravens won, she'd wear some Ravens attire. So as y'all can see, you know what I mean, Ravens did not get that job done. And I'm hurting right now because wearing this shirt is killing me. I hate the Steelers so much. But yeah, it's rough.
I was going to say, like, okay, I see the Steelers. Like, I don't know where this came from, but okay.
I know. You know how hard it was for me to spend $30 on a shirt, let alone a Steelers shirt? It was rough.
Oh, man.
It was rough. It's killing me.
That's too funny, dog. That's too funny. Yeah. But, yeah, Mallory's definitely excited about that. She got you. So you'll have to see if you can get some revenge on that.
I know. Week 11.
Right.
It's circled on my calendar.
Yeah. But we also do have a special guest in the building to talk, to break down this game even more from a fan's perspective. So I think he's going to go ahead and bring him in. Strizzy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So this is a really good friend of mine, someone who's on the Beer podcast, Church of Hops with me. His name's David Ortega. He's his number 1 team is the Ravens. I mean, like, it's not Ravens are my number 2 team. Ravens are his number 1 team. So just like me, he's just as hard on his team as I am on mine. So I figured with them playing each other, the marquee matchup this week, we had to get him on to kind of talk about this game a little bit, what's going on with the squad. So without further ado, my boy David Ortega. What's up, Dave?
Hey man, why are you wearing that shirt?
Oh, did you miss it?
I did miss it. I just hopped in.
Yeah, so I had a bet going on this week with a friend of mine. She's a Steeler fan. I'm a Ravens fan. My second squad, and obviously Panthers first, obviously, but yeah, she won that bet. Steelers got the W, so now I'm stuck wearing a Steelers shirt for the show today.
I told you this weekend that they would win. You didn't listen to me. I know my own team.
I have faith in the boys, man, and they failed me.
What happened to the big trust, though? No, but what's up, David? I'm so happy to have you on the show, man. Really appreciate coming through for sure.
Oh, thanks for
Absolutely.
finally getting me off the blacklist.
It's a long time overdue. Meaning to make this happen, though. So, but yeah, how did you feel about the game?
I wasn't surprised. I called this game like 2 weeks in advance, and I said that they wouldn't win. I know it was close, but it was an ugly game. They definitely didn't deserve to win that game, so I wasn't surprising to me that they lost.
Gotcha.
I haven't been impressed with them this entire year. Their offense is one of the worst in the league, I think. It didn't show on Sunday, but throughout the whole year, they've just been having trouble with like their running back core and rotation. I think one of the things that was interesting this week was Mark Ingram tweeted something about like people not trusting him or something like that anymore. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. You know, J.K. Dobbins has one good game and he thinks he's out of the rotation now. So it's kind of a mess this year. So, and we got the COVID thing from Marlon Humphrey, and there's like 7 other like core defensive players that were in contact. So that's going to be interesting this week. Not been a great season, to say the least.
Not been a great season, but despite it all, the record's 5-2 still, right?
Yeah, but it's like a fake 5-2. They've only beaten crap teams and they've lost against 2 really good teams. So it hasn't really shown. It's like the Packers 13-3 last year.
Gotcha. I feel that for sure.
No, most definitely. No, and it's kind of rough too. Like going back on what Dave said about the David 19, about what they're basically talking about with the COVID, and AW and I talked a little bit today about kind of how the NFL probably doesn't really have a very good testing protocol. Yeah, exactly for this team,
or they're not sticking to it.
True, because Marlon, he had mentioned last week that he had been sick and they had like sent him home or something like that for a couple of days or something like that. And then, but he had mentioned that he had like flu, cold like symptoms, which basically are the same as COVID. So It's like if he was feeling that way under the weather, like why wouldn't you have tested him last week? Like, he should have never played in that game. You know what I mean? So the fact that he was playing a game with COVID, which is a respiratory basically disease, like that's dangerous for him as well as just the players around him. So I thought that was kind of crappy, and I don't know, probably gonna be a fine coming their way as well.
The biggest thing for me though is like, as an individual, you have to have some type of self-evaluation. Like that's almost like your responsibility to people around you. Like, hey, I'm not feeling well. Like, let me let y'all know. I mean, it just kind of makes sense. Like, if you know you're not feeling well, like, stay home. Like, why would you selfishly come back and play? And now you're in that contact with a bunch of other people.
Yeah. And it kind of depends,
like,
too.
You better get down here.
For real. And it kind of depends, too. Like, you got to remember, like this, like I just said, like, this is a respiratory kind of disease. You know what I mean? So the thing that's kind of crazy is a lot of these athletes probably don't feel it the same way an average American would. They're already in they're in better shape than probably 3/4 of the American population. So COVID to him, or I mean, he's probably not heavily breathing or, feeling kind of the asthmatic portion of it. So those 2 days they sent him home, even though he had COVID, he's probably like, oh, I feel okay enough to play. So he's going to play. So that's kind of tough too. I'm with Myra. I am with you though, Myra, in the sense of like, you should have gotten tested at least. You know what I mean? Like if you were feeling that, like you should have at least gotten tested just to make sure you didn't have COVID.
Well, that's what I was going to ask though. Like he did get tested at some point, right? So when did he test positive, or did they just not get the results until after he'd already played in the game? Because that's the part of the story I missed. Like when did they find out?
It had to have been on Monday because they don't test on game days, which is weird. That's just league wide. The NFL doesn't test on game days. I guess they were afraid of like what happened with Matt Stafford earlier in the season where they had the false positive, and he could have potentially like missed a game or something like that under a false positive. It would have been weird. So that's their weird policy, is not testing on game day. So I assume it had to be on the Monday or something like that, or late Sunday. But it was really bad. I've been telling Chris this all season, like ever since the season started. I'm pretty sure the NFL doesn't really care about COVID as much as they think they do. But there's going to be a point in the season where somebody's going to be lying about their COVID test. And this is like the biggest situation right now, is having someone with cold and flu symptoms on a Wednesday go home, come back and practice on Thursday and Friday, like there had to have been testing, and if there was, they had to have lied about it, or else Marlon Humphrey wouldn't have played. They would have shut down practice, and they didn't. So
yeah,
it's very suspicious, and of course it's got to be my team. I thought it would be the Titans. I thought something would come out with the Titans, but they just like blatantly screwed up by practicing illegally after having their tests. So I think something is going to come out eventually. Maybe not during the season, but probably after that. There was probably a bunch of teams that lied about their COVID tests, and I think this week might come up as one of those instances.
I can totally see that. Yeah, the NFL though, I mean, they want to charge on, but they also want to give that appearance that public safety and player safety is first. And we know it's all about the dollar. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Kind of getting back to the Steelers a little bit. So they're the only remaining undefeated team. They're sitting at 7-0. Their next 3 games are the Cowboys, the Bengals, and the Jags. So there's a really solid chance they end up 10-0 before Week 11 when they have to play the Ravens again. Hopefully the Ravens get their stuff together before then. You know what I mean? But there's a solid good chance, man, that the Steelers, they could very well go undefeated this year. You know what I mean? Up until the playoffs, I mean.
no, I don't know about the whole year. That's just so tough to do. Like it's
really hard to do, but
and they don't have the offense, even though their defense is nasty.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I don't know if they would have went all in right now at the trade deadline for like a running back or something like that, maybe. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know about undefeated, but I could definitely see them winning those next 3 games.
Oh, easily.
100% they'll win the next 3 games. I agree with you, A-Dub. I do not think they go undefeated the entire year. As we've talked about before, 16-0 is just as difficult as 0-16.
Almost, yeah.
So I don't think they finish this season undefeated. I think the Ravens will come back and give them a run for their money when they see them again. Y'all made some good points on the offense side. Like, I don't think they have that offense with Ben Roethlisberger. Like, if you look at the quarterback attempts versus completions, Ben was 21 for 32 for 182 yards, whereas Lamar Jackson had like 208 yards collectively. So I agree with you all. Like, their defense is dope, and we know defense wins championships, but at the same time, I don't think their offense gets them to 16-0.
Yeah, agreed. We'll see, though. We'll definitely find out pretty soon. But was that you also saying that you think the Jets are going to win a game, or do you think the Jets are going to go on 16?
I definitely have to take a look at their schedule, but because last year we called that with Miami, like, oh, they're going to go 0-16, like Miami's trash, and then they won. So giving a little bit of experience from last year, like, I definitely have to look at the Jets schedule, because if it's towards the end, we know good teams are not going to have their starters out there. So it's always a possibility for the Jets to win a game at the end of the season. So we'll just have to see how that goes.
Got to
Do
give
you think it could be next Monday? It's prime time against the Patriots, who are pretty ravaged.
Yeah.
It could be, though. That would be too gangster if they beat the Patriots, but I don't see the Patriots going on a 5-week slide. I don't know. But definitely wanted to give a shout out to Mo from Girl Chat Sports.
Absolutely.
Check it in. We went on Girl Chat Sports and had a great time. They're a great podcast out of Vegas, so definitely check them out. They're blowing up on their YouTube too.
Absolutely.
And tons of upsets week 8 for sure. Was disaster for me too. So, but yeah, it could be the Jets. The Jets play hard, man, and they could beat the Patriots. The Patriots have nothing, and man, that Cam Newton fumble on the last drive this week was just awful. Pops was pretty excited though, because as he said, like in the offseason when he came on the show, he was like, Cam Newton's not going to be that guy, and it looks like he's just not. So
struggling.
That's your point. Is he no defense for him or what?
Well, the thing is, like, it kind of goes back to how, not necessarily how Tom looked last year, because Tom obviously looks better than what Cam looks like right now. But man, they have like no real weapons. They're like nothing on offense at all. Like it's even worse. It's like even worse, more so than like Carolina, like going all the years in Carolina without having any offensive weapons. At least, give it a couple of years, he had at least one person he could kind of go to, whether that been Greg Olsen. He had CMC for like his rookie year for the first like 6 games or so, something like that, before he really got hurt. But like Cam just has really no one to throw to, and like even Edelman's really kind of slowed down. Like I don't know if Edelman's tired, gassed, but like the receivers have no separation. Oh, that's right,
He's on
he is
IR,
injured.
I think.
That's right, yeah, he's on IR. The other receivers are still really young, getting no separation from the defenders. And this is against like all defenses. It's not even like the good ones. It's just the receivers get like no separation, so he's not really able to pass it. I think Cam has more rushing touchdowns than all the running backs on the teams. You know what I mean? So, and he was out for 2 weeks, so it's kind of tough. Like they're definitely going to go through a rebuilding phase, but they got a lot of rebuilding to do. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we'll see though.
Carmen Sandiego's got the Patriots for that one though.
I just want to you all the Jets remaining schedule. So the Jets beat the Patriots week, then they see the Chargers, then the Dolphins. Then the Raiders, Seahawks, Rams, Browns, and Patriots. I do see them getting one of those games, whether it's the Dolphins, the Browns, or the Patriots at the end of the year. I do not see them going 0-16.
I don't see them beating any of those teams.
You don't?
Not
I think
really.
Either of the Patriots games might be trap games.
Yeah, they might have to steal one from them, but realistically, you think about the Patriots, like. I feel like they gotta turn it around sooner or later, right? You know what I mean? Like they might use the Jets to turn it around. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see though.
I mean, we could do a little side bet if you want.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. But yeah, I don't know. I was the one last year saying Miami was definitely gonna win the game. I think they ended up winning like 4 or 5 or something like that, right? But actually, good segue, man. Let's talk about the Miami game too. Was first start of the season. Rams didn't look good at all. I feel like they really helped him on his first time, but yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have to do a lot, but it was. I mean, that first pass attempt, he did get smashed by and fumble.
Donald, yeah.
And then he came back and he played well. But they definitely put him in some good positions, and they definitely had some special teams defense score. So
yeah, definitely. I think that was actually the first punt return touchdown for the season this year.
Yeah,
it was a good one.
It was a good one. If we look at Tua's stats, he was 12 for 22 for 93 yards and 1 TD. Yeah. That's not impressive. Like, if you look at those numbers on paper, they're not impressive.
But he did what he kind of had to do because the way the game went.
The fact that they got a dub and they did have quite a few
turnovers,
several carries on rushing. They had a TD, a rushing TD. They had several turnovers, like you mentioned. He did what he had to do for the game. Congrats, he got a W. But for me, the stats are still not impressive on paper.
Man, you just hating on the kid.
I'm not.
David, how do you feel about Tua?
I think Tua. I wanted to see Tua. Another thing, Tua's brother got his first start this weekend too in college. So that was pretty cool. They both got that first start the same weekend.
Did his brother win, by the way? I didn't.
Yeah, they won.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was not impressed by Tua. I think the stats. I was like less than 100 yards he had passing or something like that.
Yeah,
he was not making very good reads. They have a really bad offensive line. Don't say that online. The Dolphins fans will come after you for that. But their offensive line is pretty bad too.
For sure.
I know that they sort of they didn't. I'd say offensively they didn't really mess with the Rams all that much. Defensively, they totally owned the Rams. Brian Flores obviously was in the Super Bowl against the Rams when he was with the Patriots, and they shut down. Yeah, they were the number one offense at that time, and Brian Flores never forgot. Sean McVay did forget. So that was probably the most interesting thing to me about the game. It was all defense. I wasn't that impressed with Tua, but I'd probably give him one more game, and then I don't know, maybe consider Ryan Fitzpatrick coming back in.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah,
I feel like once you make the move, though, you kind of stuck with it. Like, at least just got to ride it, but I don't know.
You are, from a PR standpoint, I mean, people are talking about wanting to get Mitch Trubisky back in, but you just can't do that because you've already committed to Nick Foles. So, but I would say in that situation, that both of the situations are different, but I wasn't impressed with Tua at all. I'd like to see more, hopefully.
Yeah. No, I feel you, and we'll definitely get the chance. Anthony Weston says it makes sense. They have the Texans pick and their own, and they need to see if they should draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft. And I think so too. I think they do want to decide this year if that's going to be their guy. So We'll see. But another interesting stat: 11 teams right now are at 2 wins or less in the league, which is, man, it's kind of sucks in 2020 because there's no guarantee you're going to get a good draft pick. Me being a Cowboys fan, I want them to get a good draft pick if I have to suffer through this every week, but it looks like maybe not. I don't know. But it will be a race to see who gets that number 1 pick, and probably, like Strizzy said, he wants to tank for Trevor already, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I was before I even go to the Panthers, I have a question for you. Because you guys still have Dak, if you guys end up with the first pick, what would you want? Or who would you want?
Me personally, I would want them to trade down and trade that thing for like a haul of either picks or like have like maybe like one good veteran on defense and some picks. Because to me personally, I just feel like if you draft Trevor Lawrence or you draft Justin Fields, like you're in the same position you were at the beginning of this year, where you might have a quarterback that could put up points and put up stats, but it's still not going to win you any games. Like they need a team. They don't need just a new quarterback.
I'm with you. Trade up. You guys need a safety. Maybe get like a, you know what I mean? Maybe get one of the better safeties in the draft. Exactly. Yeah. Get multiple picks. Get some players on that defense, because with that coming back, I think the offense will be all right. But yeah, I was just curious what you were thinking. But yeah, for me, I'm kind of on the like our next 2 games are gonna be tough. We got the Chiefs and the Bucks coming up, so you know what I mean. I hope the Panthers were thinking this year. Oh yeah, we're about to get smashed. We're about to get so murdered by the Chiefs. It's not even funny, but they're going to dissect our defense like crazy. But I'm on the kind of tank for Trevor, tank for Fields campaign at this point in time. I like I said, I still am not 100% bought in on Teddy B. You know what I mean? And I don't even think, honestly, they're 100% invested in Teddy B. I think he was just kind of the
bridge.
Come in and game manage until we figure out what we're going to do. Hopefully, Coach doesn't come in there and just draft a whole bunch of Temple players again, because it seems like what he did over these last couple, on the off season, like we just grabbed a whole bunch of just like Temple players or whatever. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, man. I kind of hope too, like if we end up doing that, like just let Christian McCaffrey just sit, man. He's already missed more than half the season, basically. Like.
But he'll be ready like next week, right?
Like next week. And don't be wrong, he's not going to sit. He's way too much a competitor for that. But the last thing I want is for him to get hurt again for a pretty much washed season. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm really big on Justin Fields. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be great. But I think with the direction that the league is kind of going, I think I kind of like Justin Fields from Ohio State a little bit more, honestly, in my opinion. But we'll see, man. Either way, I think both quarterbacks are amazing talents, and I think they're both going to do very well in the NFL when they get drafted.
All right, that's what's up. What else we got for NFL talk, Myra? Do you have any games you liked?
Games I liked. No, it was more games I was disappointed in. I mean, we knew the Philadelphia Eagles were going to let us have it. That game was absolutely a disaster. I'm with you all as you spoke about trading up for picks. My biggest thing is building on the secondary for the Cowboys. Like that secondary has been atrocious for a while. They need help. Definitely build on that secondary. I think we did a good job this year drafting CeeDee Lamb to complement the receiving core. I think the receiving core is okay, but definitely, man, that secondary always gets roasted, and that's not pretty at all.
Right.
Other games that I was thrown off by was the Colts and the Lions. Like the Colts gave the Lions the business. It was like 41-21. I did not think they were going to go in there and take down Matthew Stafford and the boys in Detroit like
that. Yeah.
So that one really threw me off. And the fact that it was a high-scoring game for the Colts was interesting. Like if we look at the passing yards, Rivers was 23 for 33 for 262 yards and 3 TDs. So he ate this week, especially if you had him for fantasy football. Whereas Matthew Stafford ate too, but they had a lot of turnovers. He was 24 for 42 for 336 yards with 3 TDs, but he still had that INT. So that really threw me off. I really did not think the Colts were going to go in there and handle them like that. The Vikings and the Packers threw me off too. I did not think the Vikings were going to come back and handle the Packers the way that they did. The Vikings are sitting at 2-5, where Green Bay is sitting at 5-2. Did not see that at all. Ton of upsets this week, just like we mentioned, you know.
Yeah, my boy Dalvin Cook put in work this week.
Absolutely.
Oh, he put in hella work. Had 4 total touchdowns, like 200 and some odd total yards. Like, dude.
How did everybody do in fantasy? Because I lost in all 3 of my leagues this week. Myra beat me. She beat the children of Thanos. We were undefeated until this week. Basically, off of DK Metcalf, I think it was.
DK's my boy.
Undefeated all season because I don't have any teams.
That's the best way to be. That's the way I need to be.
Out of curiosity, Dave, a question for you. So, like, me and Dave are kind of going back and forth with our MVP between Rodgers and Wilson. Is Wilson kind of in front of Rodgers again? What do you think? I know last week we were saying with that loss to the Cardinals, Rodgers kind of went above him, but I got Wilson back up top again. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, they're both close. Honestly, do you think we should do like a co-MVP this year with Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf?
Right.
I feel like you know, DK Metcalf's been a big part of Russell Wilson's success.
Yeah, he's been huge, man. He's been so huge. Like he had actually a pretty nice rookie campaign, and the fact that he looks so much better than what he was just a season ago was kind of crazy. Like he's looking good, man.
And to me, that comes down to sometimes it's like because AJ Brown kind of broke out last year, and everybody's like, "Oh, DK Metcalf was supposed to be the guy from Ole Miss." So it's kind of like they compared him, and all of a sudden they thought it was like he disappointed or something. It's like, no, DK is still a beast.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I am very happy to say that I am a fantasy football owner of DK Metcalf, and he helped me push through this week. But I love the way DK Metcalf rides for Russell Wilson. Like from the get-go, he's been saying like Russell Wilson definitely is in the running for MVP. I'm with you, Strizzy. At one point in time, I'm like, ooh, not so much. But after this week's performance, I'm like, man, Russell Wilson is really putting in work. So I don't agree with the co-MVP, but DK Metcalf is a big influence on Russell Wilson's success.
Another thing, too, kind of going back to the Seattle game, the one thing that I absolutely loved about this game, because we talk about it all the time, was I loved how they kept the pedal to the floor. There was never any letting up. They did not allow the 49ers to really kind of come back into this game the way that the Cardinals come back to this game. They stepped
their lesson finally.
No, for sure, dude. And, like, you know, I talk about it all the time. Like, I hate when defenses go into zones when they have a lead and they just allow the teams to get back into these games because they can get 10 to 12 to 15 yards of play, go down, get a touchdown, and offense just runs the ball 3 times, 3 and out, and then they got to do it again, go back. You know what I mean? Like, they kept the pedal to the floor on the defense, and they kept blitzing, and they kept doing all that stuff to make sure the 49ers had to, like, if you're going to come back, you're going to do it. You're going to beat us. And I loved how Coach Pete Carroll and the defense kept everything rolling. So I love that. I think teams should do that a lot more. I hate when they get into that whole zone defense thing and just let teams get back into games. Bump that. If you're destroying a team, continue to destroy a team. Take their souls, is what I'm saying.
I would say, though, too, the 49ers, though, they just didn't have much either, though. And and Jimmy G are going to be out for multiple weeks, so we'll see what's up with that.
For sure.
Anthony Weston says no love for Pat Mahomes in the MVP race. You already got one?
Chiefs are the Warriors. I'm like, Chiefs are,
you got your MVP, you got your Super Bowl. What else you want?
You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what's funny? Because obviously Patrick Mahomes definitely looks like an MVP candidate, you know, year after year. I think part of it, though, is I feel like that team is so good on, like, all aspects of offense. Running backs look good. Receivers look good. Kelsey looks good. He looks great. I think sometimes because they're so good, it kind of pushes them to the bottom of the barrel because we almost expect it now. It's kind of like when, like, you know, how many MVPs could LeBron honestly could have won? You know what I mean? All of them. You know what I mean? Like, every year this dude's been in the league, he could have been MVP. So I kind of feel like that kind of like just works against him a little bit. Like, he's that good, so it works against him.
Yeah, I feel it. 21 TDs for the year, 1 interception.
Yep.
I mean, 5 TDs. They played the Jets. Like, let's be realistic. Like, he's supposed to get 5 TDs on the Jets. He's Patrick Mahomes playing against the Jets.
The defense was dancing. They were swag surfing during the game.
Like come at us and say 5 TDs when he's like on a good defense, you know, like man, he ran a train and just killed their defense. Then I'll give it to you. He's already won an MVP. Is he great? Yes, absolutely. Did he earn his 10-year, $500 million? Yes, he did. Congratulations. You already got one, bro, and you got 5 TDs on the Jets. Congratulations. Like keep it moving. Let's see how you look towards the end of the year. I'm with you, Jersey. He looks great year in, year out. He's young. He's phenomenal. He's from Texas. Like, he's got my vote. But we got to give Russell Wilson some love right now. Like,
Yeah, he's never even gotten an MVP vote, Russell Wilson.
That's what's crazy to me. It's so crazy to me. But me and Dave
It's not crazy if you look at the people who won MVPs. It's actually
that year. Yeah, for sure. Well, no. Not that he's never won it. More so, not even a vote. I think that's more crazy to me. Like nobody thought he was going to get it. I mean, dude does have a Super Bowl himself. But at the same time too, like me and Dave were just talking about this. The Chiefs talking about his 10-year contract. Man, they're built for the next like 4 or 5 years. Like that contract's a huge contract, but it's a span of 10 years. You know what I mean? Like they still have enough cap room, enough cap space to kind of make these deals for their players. You know, they've got to, they're gonna have to pay the Cheetah soon. You know what I mean? Like I think Kelsey just got paid, didn't he? Or has it not got his? Yeah, so
I think he's good.
They're built for the long run, man. And with Mahomes behind center, like it's gonna be a little dynasty with this team. I think. Right now, I think it's them and the Steelers for the AFC Championship, and I still think Chiefs are just too good. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about it is I feel like the Chiefs are still kind of playing around. I still don't think they're as good as they could be. You know what I mean? Like I still feel like if they really wanted to put up 50 a game, like they probably could, but they're not. So. Man. They're dangerous. They're dangerous and scary.
And they keep adding pieces. You know, they just added Le'Veon Bell. Like, behind, I mean, they got 2 solid running backs. Like, I agree with you. They're set up to be good for a couple of years. Let's just show Russell Wilson some love right now. Let's just show him some love right now because he deserves it.
Right.
That's a big part of why. Patrick Mahomes isn't in the MVP conversation. Is you look at all of the offense and like they have so many good weapons. It kind of wonders. Like the way I look at MVP is if you take somebody else and put him in his position, would he have the same success, less or more? I think if you put someone, I think if you put the backup QB, they'll probably have like decent success with all those athletes.
Right.
They make them look really good, but I'm not saying that that's the only reason why he's actually good. I think I could hear arguments for MVPs, but it doesn't really ring a bell just because of what he's working with there. That's why I had Aaron Rodgers as an MVP because he's really working with
people we never
Adams and a bunch of scrubs.
Right.
Robert Tongian or whatever.
Yeah, tight end or whatever his name is. Yeah.
So this week, Russell Wilson put out like a message that he spends over $1 million a year on body maintenance and health. So we're talking about the hyperbaric chambers. We're talking about he has two chefs. That reminded me of the commercial. Y'all remember a long time ago the Snickers commercial where they're like painting the end zone and he's like, "That's great, but who are the chefs?"
Yeah, that was a dope one.
That was, but that's crazy. Like that's bananas, you know. Like
that's like LeBron too. I can't remember how much he spends, but it's something
same
like
thing,
that.
over $1 million.
Yeah,
but over a little over $1 million. That's crazy.
It makes sense.
But when you got money like that,
protect your investment too.
Absolutely.
Well, that was weird. I was just thinking about like how he's been able to stay so durable for the last decade and be able to start every game. And I felt like that was an obvious thing with him spending a bunch of money on his body. But then I was trying to think of like, has he ever made like a bad play that put him in a situation that he would be injured? And so I kind of watched some old like Russell Wilson highlights and some recent ones. And the way he moves around the field is actually pretty interesting. Whenever he scrambles, like he doesn't take hits directly on, like I know he does his slide, but like when he has to take a hit, like he kind of rolls with the punches. If you kind of know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of QBs who've had a lot of longevity that do that as well, scrambling and non-scrambling. But then I think about like guys like Carson Wentz and like Deshaun Watson, who they don't do that.
No.
I know Deshaun Watson's been pretty durable, but Carson Wentz is a big one who he doesn't know how to take care of his body in the open field. Like at the game on Sunday, he got trucked like really hard, maybe 2 or 3 times during that game. And so you kind of wonder, like, is Russell Wilson's mentality also different on the field as far as like how to take hits and stay on the field?
Definitely.
He's next level, I think.
Absolutely.
That's a good point, though. And I can see it too, how you're describing how he rolls with it. Yeah, he definitely protects himself well. But that's what's up, P. I don't know. And he also, I don't know if that helps from baseball or whatever, sliding, but I don't know.
What was y'all's thoughts on the Giants-Buccaneers game? That game was a little too close for comfort for me. Like, why are the Giants hanging in there with the Buccaneers like that?
The Giants' defense has been pretty good for them, though, this year. Their offense has kind of struggled a little bit, but I feel like their defense has been pretty solid. Just Daniel Jones ain't playing very well.
Right, and that's the thing, though. Their offense, even without Saquon, you can kind of see the pieces of it. It's kind of there, you know, and every once in a while they look like, oh, okay, like they can move the ball, but it just is not consistent enough. But their defensive ends, you know, they definitely made Brady uncomfortable. That's kind of classic Giants versus Brady. So it was a pretty good game. And then throw in some, you know, some turnovers, throw in some type of, you know, plays that just changed the game like that, and they almost got them.
Yeah, they just failed that 2-point conversion.
But yeah,
I think Daniel Jones is a bust.
I'm
Absolute bust. Like they should probably draft another quarterback in this upcoming draft, kind of bust.
Well, those numbers were frightening. They're talking about how many interceptions he has, or how many turnovers I guess he has in his first 20 games or whatever. It's crazy.
And it's not just interceptions, the fumbles too, man. It's, you know, just overall turnovers. Like it's a lot. It's a grip.
Yeah.
His ball security is really bad, and he doesn't know how to make. He doesn't know how to go through his progressions. There was times where he missed maybe like 2 wide open touchdown throws. One of them was to like Darius Slayton, who's probably the best player on their team right now.
Probably, yeah. I think so.
But yeah, he missed Slayton on like a wide open touchdown. I think it resulted in an interception on that game. It was just completely opposite of the other opposite end of the field, and he doesn't have it. I don't see it. He's not making any progress with trying to keep his turnovers down.
Yeah. It's crazy though how this league, you know what I'm saying, you can kind of flash and you can kind of show that you can kind of make it, but after a couple of years it's like, yeah, he could be over with. Our boy for the Jets too is another one. I always liked him.
Sam
Darnold, but it's like he's another one that they would probably replace him if they could. So it's crazy how it goes.
Jameis Winston's another one. Yeah, I mean the offensive numbers are there,
killing the yards, but
yeah, he can kill all the yards he wants to. It's just the turnovers, man, the interceptions and the fumbles. Exactly.
He just had LASIK. You don't know if he might be better with the LASIK. He hasn't played yet.
Right. I think he can do better. You know what I'm saying? They might need to try him the next time the Saints go outdoors again.
Yeah.
Drew Brees is just.
It's just weird that he got the LASIK after he threw 30 interceptions.
Right. Right. Your whole life you couldn't see it and you didn't know it. Dang.
Exactly.
Who knows though? You're right, man. Drew Brees' arm is a shell of what it used to be. So sooner or later he gets hurt or goes down. We might actually see some Jameis Winston. So
I would love it.
Yeah, for sure. Before we jump into basketball talk, I want to touch on the two other games really quick, just super quick. Touch on them. Number one, Herbert from the Chargers. When this kid figures out how to win these games, man, like when they figure it out, it's gonna be crazy. This team could easily be 6-2 or 5-2, whatever it is. Like, but they just keep losing these close ones, and the defense allowed Broncos to come back in this game and win by a point. I think it was like 31-30 or something like that.
That's right.
But Justin Herbert looks good, man. I'm still impressed with the rookie. Right now, his rookie campaign's on par with Patrick Mahomes. It's just, doesn't have the coach, doesn't have all of the offensive firepower, but he's looking good, man. He's definitely looking good.
On pace with Patrick Mahomes rookie year.
His first official year. His first official year. So I think Herbert is
storming, not anything like Herbert, because Herbert's only won one game, right?
Right. I'm talking just stats wise. So I think Herbert's like 1,800 yards and like 15 touchdowns, so like 1 interception, something like that. And Patrick Mahomes first whatever starts, he was like 1,700 with like one less touchdown and like one interception as well. So just stats wise, like I think dude looks really, really good. And I don't know if they can figure some things out how to finish up these games, man. Their record should be so much better than what it is.
Didn't Mahomes finish with like 60 touchdowns that year?
55 or something like that.
55? Yeah.
I
don't know if he's on pace.
That's what I was like. I don't know if that's true, dog.
No. Like the stats are yes, but he is on right now between these games. He's on pace. He's on pace with Patrick Mahomes, dude. I'm just saying.
So his current stats right now, year to date, is 1,820 yards. He has 15 TDs and 5 INTs. His quarterback rating is a 76.4. So he's 9th in the league on quarterback rating right now. For TDs, he's tied for 6th. So
I mean, that's what's up. But yeah, they do need to.
I'm not saying he is Mahomes by any range.
But that just threw me off.
Fingers crossed, because we need some competition in that division.
Right? For sure.
Let this sit in, though. He's 22 years old.
He's like the same age as Pat. He's like the same age as Pat.
Like,
I think Pat's like 22, 23 years old too.
No, he's like 24. He's been thrown into the fire, and he is produced. And I agree with you, Strizzy. He doesn't have the coach. He doesn't have the offensive weapons. If they make some moves to give him some pieces, I think he'll do well.
Yeah, I think he's going to do well. And then another one too, and chime in whenever you guys want to, was the Bengals win.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising to me.
Joey covers.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, Bengals. So that was pretty surprising too. I didn't think they were going to go in and get the W like that, because they beat them pretty convincingly. So shout out to Joe Burrow and crew.
I think that was his second game. He didn't have any turnovers, and the other one was against the Eagles where they tied, so they could have won that game. So
yeah,
pretty interesting.
Right.
Just so we don't have a cleanup next week, Patrick Mahomes is 25 right now.
Okay.
25.
All right, so but that brings up a good question. So Anthony Weston says Burrow or Herbert? Because you guys have been talking about Herbert like he's really that good. So.
Right now?
Right now and forever. I mean,
I'm taking Herbert.
Okay.
I agree. I'd take Herbert.
Dang, I need to watch closer.
If we are talking,
have you not watched it, dude?
I've been watching.
Like a rookie.
Hold on.
No, I feel it.
Yeah.
We are talking about stats wise this year.
I'm talking about player you want on your team though too.
I'm going
not necessarily just stats.
I'm going with Joe. Joe's currently sitting at 2,272 yards right now, passing yards on this season. He's got 11 TDs and 5 INTs. His mentality, he's got the winner mentality in him. Does he need the pieces around him? Yes, he does. So if I'm going to go off of stats on this 2020 season, I mean, I want my quarterback to throw. I want my quarterback to rack up those passing yards. 1,800 to 2,200, that's a difference of 400.
Right. But I mean, but it goes beyond that, I guess, for me, for stats and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of tough. Anthony Weston goes Burrow. But I mean, I definitely respect Herbert and how you guys are saying
I
both.
respect Herbert too.
I think Herbert's actually, but my thing too with Herbert too is he's played better competition as well. He's played way better competition. Joe Burrow is losing games to teams that he honestly could possibly beat. Herbert's playing against people he has no business competing with. So,
with the Bengals, like the Bengals are shit.
They're just as bad as the Chargers right now. They have a better record than the Chargers, I think. So I mean,
about the same, yeah.
I don't like Joe Burrow's. He's like I don't know. I don't want to say he's a glorified game manager, but he doesn't have the tools to be a bigger quarterback like Justin Herbert is. I think Joe Burrow has like a 12% deep ball completion percentage, and that's pretty terrible. I know he's got guys on that team that can run deep. Herbert has been incredible. Like he's got a cannon of an arm. I would say like that's probably a good Patrick Mahomes comp is like they both have cannon arms and they're pretty accurate with it too.
And he's accurate with it too. That's what I was gonna say. He's accurate with it too.
The Bengals are currently sitting at 2-5-1, and the Chargers are sitting at 2-5.
Yeah,
so the same.
So
the Chargers did blow how many double-digit leads?
No, well, so the thing is, their last 4 games. The last 4 games they've had a 16-point lead, and they
Right.
won 1 out of those 4. So
I mean, I agree. Like I said in the beginning, had that the little
criteria, the little
criteria.
asterisk.
I was like, little asterisk. Like when they figure out how to win these games. I mean, he's played against the Bucks in that defense. He's played against the Saints. They have a pretty decent defense as well. You know, Drew Brees and company. Like he's played against some top-notch quarterbacks in this league and gotten inches away of beating them. So they learn how to win these games, get their defense back healthy, man. I think they're a different team probably come next year. And he's made Mike Williams relevant again. These last couple of games, Mike Williams has been legit. Like he's looked really good. Like he's looked rejuvenated. So I don't know. We'll see.
Burrow is also playing behind an entire. I think 4 of his 5 offensive line guys are backups. So he's still doing pretty decent behind that.
No, absolutely.
So that's also impressive.
No, absolutely. Yeah. He looks good too. We talk about Joe Burrow all the time. I think he looks good too. I don't know.
And I feel like I don't know, me personally too. I don't know. I guess I'm like old school too. I just feel like I don't like calling stuff too early. Like we're 8 games into their first year. You know, I can't really crown anybody too quick. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Hey, Dub, we called the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. It doesn't get way too
True.
early.
What do I know anyways?
But that's those early season predictions.
You know, right.
That's those early season predictions that we always do at the beginning of the
a lot of
beginning
times
of the year.
Thank goodness, but all right.
We can call something 8 games in. We've seen some type of film. Like we've seen something.
Oh man! All right, before we go, quick question because y'all are both Cowboys fans. If they can get something good for him, do they trade Zeke? Do y'all get rid of Zeke? Would y'all trade him?
I would. But too bad the trade deadline's over though right now.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I would have tried to trade him to like the Steelers or the Seahawks, dude. If you put him on either of those teams, they'll make like a good run.
Yeah.
And just get what you can, because dude, he's not the same, and you gotta basically cut bait before he loses too much off his fastball, like Todd Gurley style.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say that because I love him, but
he's trying to put on some of that like Eddie Lacy weight too. Like, he looking low. He's way hungry. No, but for real, like I don't know. Like he got paid, and all of a sudden he really started eating for real. Like them game checks started coming in.
That was my biggest thing. Like the moment he got paid, he stopped being the beast that he was. Like you just showing up now. Like you got paid, you're just gonna show up.
I don't know, but that's typical of most of the Cowboys. They already paid. The only ones that were playing hard is the ones they hadn't paid yet. Yeah. But I do have one more Cowboys note I forgot to say earlier. Andy Dalton did test positive for COVID.
Yeah, so he's
going to be out. And now they're talking about they just signed Cooper Rush back, who was our 3rd string last year. And they're now talking about starting him this weekend if they can get him to the active roster instead of Ben DiNucci, which I kind of think is a mistake. I'm like, let the dude run again. Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, at least there'll be some continuity. Like, instead of trying to rush this dude Cooper Rush back on the field, which he never played for us before. We never liked him before.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I don't want to get much crazy on that one. I think we will definitely have more though. We'll do our week 9 picks on Thursday, and we'll shake our head about the Cowboys a little bit more. But but I think it's time for NBA talk though. If you guys are ready to roll,
absolutely. Let's segue into it.
All right. NBA talk. We don't have a lot of topics. As we know, it's the off season. Just wrapped up recently. But we do have something kind of interesting. You know, the NBA had planned to start on December 22nd.
Yeah.
The union is opposing that plan, and there's already talk about a lot of the veterans potentially sitting out that first month. But the union wants something closer to like an MLK Day start, which I think would be pretty dope. That's usually a big day for basketball. But there was one report that said the NBA could lose
$500 million.
$500 million to $1 billion if they wait until January start potentially.
Yeah.
And then this other one thing
on top of the $4 billion.
$4 billion
this year.
Exactly.
Which is very unlikely.
I agree, especially in the enclosed place. So it is tough for the NBA right now. They're trying to get it how they can. But I just wanted to see what you guys kind of thought about that. If you guys had any thoughts about that stuff.
Go ahead, Dave. Start us off, man. What do you think?
I mean, it's up to the players, honestly. I seen stuff on Twitter, like Jared Dudley has said, like, we'll play whenever we need to play, but there's other players who are concerned about health and wellness. The CBA, I think, I don't know if it's expiring or if they were going to redo that, but they had they had a deadline recently for trying to change the CBA, I think.
They agreed to extend it.
Oh, they agreed to extend it. Okay. That makes sense. I don't know. I'm not interested in the fan stuff, like money-wise. Maybe I'm being selfish. I was kind of focused more on like the stupid play-in tournament that they want to have towards the end of the season before the playoffs. So that was kind of where my mind was at. I already don't think that we're gonna have fans again, so that's just kind of a calculated loss for them. Not really much we could do about that, or that anyone could do about that.
Right.
No, I agree. I think they need to just kind of get over that and let that part go. That ship is kind of sailed on that. But it will be interesting. No, I agree with you too about it's up to the players, because if they really decide, hey, we're not going to show up, and they've already, inside the bubble it was different, but they already did flex their power. We've had some pretty big moments with the Bucks, boycotting that game and the whole day being delayed. So the players know that this is a player-driven league, and they do have a lot of power to decide what happens. So it will be very interesting, but the draft's coming up and then free agency's coming up. So they got to figure out a lot of stuff the NBA does to work this stuff out.
Absolutely. And I think a part of it too is like, now this is regular season, the playoffs are one thing because they, the bubble works for, 16 teams, right? But it's not going to work for all, 30, 32. So instead of trying to focus on the $4 billion that they're going to lose because of having no fans or, a percentage of fans, let's try to focus on ways of where maybe you can make some, not all of that money back, obviously, but maybe you focus on making some of that money back. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna, that $4 billion's gone. You know what I mean? Like it's not coming back. Like it's a wash essentially. So, figure out ways you can make more revenue, but do it without thinking that you're gonna figure out a way to get past the whole fans thing, because it's just not gonna work. So for me, for the players, obviously it's kind of soon, to them. It just ended mid-October in the championship.
So the ones that made the playoffs and stuff,
right?
But to some of these teams, they've been home since March.
Since March, exactly. So that kind of sucks. I know LeBron talked about if it happens, he's going to set out that first month. I know he was one of those players to do it, which kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? I think AD is good enough to help to keep the Lakers within playoffs, even in the playoffs, whatever. He's still got a pretty young body. But I just think overall, I think starting in January sometime, late January might be a little bit better. So I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see what they come up with. The NBA, though, in my opinion, is just one of the franchises or organizations that do these things right. You know what I mean? They take a lot of time into making decisions like this. So I think they'll do what's right.
My biggest thing is that, we do know that this is a business to make money, and this is where you have a think tank. I mean, you have Adam Silver, who I think is a great commissioner. I think this is where you pull people together and be like, okay, what is our strategic approach to make up the gap? We're not going to make back $4 billion off of fans. What are we doing to generate revenue? I 100% agree that the season should start later on in January, just because of the fact that, okay, these teams just finished. Unless they give certain players the opportunity to opt out at the beginning of the season, just the way they had during this whole COVID situation. Strategically speaking, like just off the top of the bat, like what are we doing with virtual fans? Like that's definitely a way to generate money. I know this year, all you had to do was sign up on your team's website to become a virtual fan. Generate some type of revenue out of that. Like, I mean, I would love to be a virtual fan, and people are willing to pay just to be on that screen, like just to be there. That's definitely a strategic approach to try to gain some type of revenue of, okay, we're not going to have asses in the seats, but we can have asses virtually. You know what I'm saying? And let's put a price tag on that. So, it's the NBA. You're going to come up with some type of approach to recap some type of revenue on that side. Other than that, like, I agree with LeBron. Like, they just finished in October. Like, maybe he'll take that first month off. And we just keep on moving. Like, like you said, Strizzy, I don't think they have the capability and the capacity to hold all teams in a bubble. It works more once the teams dwindle down into playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see, how that affects all 32 teams. Now you have going to different cities, you have travel involved, you have all kinds of things. So, they're going to have to think of some type of strategic approach for the entire season to actually happen. So.
Yeah, Anthony Weston makes a really good point. He talks about how, these big name players who are going to sit out for the first month anyway, if they sit out, who's really going to watch? You know what I mean? Like there have been, that's why the NBA gets, why we get on the NBA so much about our big name players, sitting for games, you know what I mean? For like when they're not actually hurt, just for rest, because it's like when you have these big matchup games where, you want to watch, LeBron versus, KD, but KD's sitting out because his Achilles is sore. It's like, well, maybe we watch the next time around.
Why
you know what I mean?
So KD is an example.
But I think it's
because those are the two biggest names in the NBA right now. That's why.
No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
You could have said Kawhi. He sits out every other game.
Man, they lost in the playoffs. But you know what I'm saying? But no. But seriously though, like it's just one of those things because KD's probably going to sit a couple of games. You know what I mean? Like because I think they're going to be in a position where they're going to be one of the top seeds in the East. But those big name players sit out for a couple of games. Like those are the games that are probably going to see less people watching. But I think another good way they might be able to get some of that money back is I constantly forget what it's called, but the virtual reality, not the game, but it's I forget what it's actually called. I'm having a brain fart right now. Yeah, Oculus. Yeah. So with Oculus, I think there's a way where you can actually get like courtside seats with Oculus with like the NBA app or something like that. So I think that might be a way where like, okay, we're not obviously going to make it as expensive as it would be to go to the actual game, right, but make it so that the Oculus is effective for every seat inside of an NBA stadium and it's priced based on that seat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you can still sit in the nosebleeds?
Right. You can still sit in the nosebleeds. If you can afford the court side, you can sit court side. If you're sitting in the lower level, you know what I mean? So if a lower level seat's normally $150, maybe you make it $100, $125, and you're not there.
I think everybody should sit courtside because it's not like you can't fit enough people. Like everybody can sit courtside.
No, absolutely. I'm just thinking for like if you want to differentiate the price, you know what I mean? But you're right. Essentially, everybody could have a courtside seat because it's not necessarily real, like it's Oculus. So, but I think they could find a way to make money with that as well. They just have to, I don't know, make that contract, make it work, whatever, get the sponsorship, whatever they need to do it. But there's other ways for them to make money, even though they're going to lose a ton of it for not having fans.
Yeah. David, who's your NBA team?
I'm a Suns fan, I guess. I've been watching the Blazers a lot the last few years as well. So.
Okay, that's what's up. I should have, because I knew your affiliation for NFL, but I wasn't sure about for NBA though.
Yeah, kind of hard to be around.
Yeah, I feel
until the local team gets good.
Right. I did want to get your guys' thoughts. Speaking of the Suns, kind of a little reunion. I did want to get your thoughts on D'Antoni joining Nash's staff on the Nets. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's interesting considering that he was the coach before, and now, he was the coach and Steve Nash was the player. I think it's an interesting dynamic between the two. I would not hire D'Antoni ever again, guys. I have such a sour taste in my mouth back from the Lakers with Kobe to the Rockets. Like, D'Antoni is done for me. I'm not hiring him if I'm a GM at all. Like, it's okay, bro. We're going to give somebody else a chance. So I think it's an interesting reunion. They probably have chemistry off that player-coach relationship. But as for me, D'Antoni, not so much.
Yeah, he's already got Amari Stoudemire as well on the coaching staff too. I'm just waiting for him to call up Raja Bell, Boris Diaw, Jay Rich. You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting for him to call everybody. Hey, look, I got like four seats left. Call up Sean Marion for defensive prowess. Like, you know what I mean? But we'll see. I mean, those are people he trusts. I already imagined that he was going to use some type of system like D'Antoni did for him. Because he has the offensive players to probably do so, and probably the better offensive players to do so. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to think about it, but if he runs that same offensive scheme with Kevin Durant, like he probably could win a championship with that offense. We always talk about it'll never win one, but KD is that good. You know what I mean? So who knows? But I'm very interested to see how they're going to do things with D'Antoni as an assistant coach. I was actually surprised he took it. I thought that he would really be trying to go out for another head coaching job.
I think he understands that he's washed, and you better take a job or you ain't got no job. So.
A job is better than no job.
Facts.
OKC is the last actually team looking for a head coach.
Yep.
I did want to mention that too. And I think it's time for Becky Hammond to get a shot. I think that'd be a gangster.
Get it.
I think they wait to try to trade Chris Paul before they hire someone.
That's what it seems like they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But they got to hurry up. I mean, they're going to need a coach eventually. Season starts pretty soon, or supposedly.
Yeah. I don't think anybody wants that job until they find out what Chris Paul is doing. And that's actually a good idea. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think it's Sam Presti there. He's got his work cut out for him to figure out what's going on with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we have for NBA talk, but we'll definitely keep reacting to things.
One last
thing. The Nets are going to get 46 wins, by the way. 46.
On the early to call it.
Well, how many games are they playing again? They reduced it to 70?
Oh yeah, so no. Maybe would they have 72 if they start on MLK Day?
I think something like that. I can't remember what it was supposed to be.
What's 72 divided in half? 30? No, 30.
Yeah, 36.
36.
35 games. They're gonna win 35 games.
They're going under 500. All right.
Yeah. I just don't see it. They're getting Kevin Durant back from an Achilles tear. That's just pretty much a career-ending injury for NBA players. There's only one player who's actually come back from an Achilles tear. Well, Kobe. I mean, he did come back.
He never reached the same heights. Yeah.
Yeah. Dominique Wilkins did. He tore his when he's like 32, and that guy's just an athletic freak. So that's like an outlier. Everybody else has kind of noticeably gone down, and a lot of them didn't last very long in the league. Mike D'Antoni he's never won a conference final, so I don't see that changing with this team. Kyrie Irving is
injury prone.
I think you're going in a different direction.
He's a little loopy, I'd say. I don't know how that's going to play out with the chemistry of the team. So. Right. I don't see that team succeeding that very well, especially in the East with what we saw in the playoffs, how many good teams there are.
Yeah. The East is deeper than I think people think or give it credit for. But I was saying this a while ago too. I know Marcus, our super producer Marcus, couldn't be with us today. I know he's really high on the Nets right now with KD and the coming back. And you know how we do. We always challenge each other, but I always challenge them. Like the Achilles, man, it's an injury like no other when it comes to NBA players. It's like the ACL, dude. Like it's a long road of recovery. When you come back, it's really hard to be the same player that you were beforehand. So I'm curious on what KD's gonna look like when he gets back. And we talk about how Kyrie Irving has a history of kind of dividing locker rooms, you know what I mean? And he is injury prone. And hopefully they can use Nash to kind of like keep them together and build it. I would like to see what that team could look like at its best, but I am kind of a Dave. I think they win at least 40 games. You know what I mean? But who knows, man? Chemistry plays a big role in stuff like this. We've seen teams like the Browns should be better than they are. Cowboys should be better than they are. Like chemistry is a really big deal. So we'll see. And Miami's going to look the same. Boston's going to look the same. Toronto's going to look the same. All those teams probably aren't going to make very many changes. If anything, they might get better. So. I saw some stuff on the internet. I sent the Slack group earlier today about Giannis willing to sign a full-term, long-term contract with Miami. But until it comes from Woj, I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything. So, we'll see. But we'll see what happens, man. I think the East is the top 4 or 5 teams are pretty damn good. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Last thing that I was just going to touch on is that several NBA teams are starting to announce their new kits for the 2021 season, their new uniforms. Golden State Warriors unveiled their
Oakland jerseys.
They have a specific name for Oakland Forever. What is it?
It's weird because they're not even in Oakland anymore.
Right. They moved to Wells Fargo in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I didn't see this yet, though, but I'm excited. Is this the Jordan one or is this the Nike one?
The Warriors revealed their Nike City Edition design, which honors the city of Oakland, where the Warriors played the last 47 seasons.
Yeah.
It's a Nike one.
Got you. That's what's up.
We just moved the Clippers already to Seattle.
The Nets have one too, and it looks like it was drawn in crayon.
The Nets is pretty wild.
Oh, they have that's like the Drazen Petrovic like retros. But they have another one that's like it's like a weird drawing on them.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm feeling that.
That reminds me.
The Atlanta unveiled theirs. The Nets.
We'll have to put up a poll. We'll have to put up something on Slack and see who had the best ones.
The Hornets, the Warriors, the Trailblazers. There's their city edition.
That's kind of fire, though.
Yeah. Portland's jerseys are all pretty nasty.
Nike always takes care of themselves.
They got some good ones, man. They got some really good ones.
Jersey, what were you gonna say though? You said
yeah. So I saw another, rumor mill type deal thing where they were talking about potentially sending Harden to 76ers, right? Again, rumor mill. Something somewhere, had to have come out, and Doc has already talked about possibly shipping Ben Simmons away. So curiosity, so that would have to be some type of like three-way deal, right? I can't imagine them sending Ben Simmons to the Houston Rockets with Russell, because you can't have two players who just can't shoot the rock at the guard positions, right? Like there's gotta be something else where they're probably trying to get Russell out too. But I feel like they'd send Ben Simmons.
Anthony West says, I told you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they'd have to send over like Ben Simmons for Harden, but then also some shooters to kind of help Ben. You know what I mean? But I'm like, Harden and Embiid might be kind of nasty.
I don't think they do it.
Don't think so? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think they pull the trigger until maybe the trade deadline, but I don't think either of them are leaving now or later. I think I think the biggest thing that they have to do is get rid of the Tobias Harris contract. I think that's their biggest flaw, because they could probably trade him and get maybe some better shooters back. That's what they need, is shooters. So
yep, big time.
I think they try to do that before they do anything with Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid.
I agree with that. I think you got to give Doc a chance to coach this team and figure it out, because up until now, Brett Brown wasn't really tinkering enough or really figuring out to make it work. So
not at all. Like, it just wasn't working. So much talent on that team. But they have the most talent on that team probably than any other team in the league, on East or West. And not being able to make that work in basketball.
That's what I'm saying. If they were able to get it all moving in the same direction. So I think you got to give them a chance. And like David said, they're kind of strapped up on some of those contracts that they signed. So
the positive thing, though, with the Tobias Harris contract is that Tobias Harris played under Doc with the Clippers. So that kind of helps with that chemistry already. I do agree with you all. The star talent on paper that the Sixers have, like, you would think that they would be a much better team. I had read a couple of days ago that Doc Rivers likes the roster that he has with the Sixers. So it's just going to be interesting to see what he does with the team. The fact the Clippers let him go, I kind of think, I think Doc Rivers is a great coach. I think he's very experienced. I think he can make pieces work with what he has. But I do agree with you all. It's better off to give him a fresh start. On the positive, like I said, the silver lining is that he already has that relationship with Tobias Harris. So it'll be interesting to see what the Sixers do.
I'm curious what they do with Al Horford as well, honestly.
He's just in a chat.
Well, the thing is, he just didn't fit well with the way the team was built. The players that they had kind of brought in, between Harris and Richardson, and they already had Embiid. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Coach Brown just didn't know what to do with them, even though, because Al Horford's very talented. He's a very talented player. So I'm wondering if Doc will be able to kind of figure out what to do with them.
Yeah. And I think Brett Brown didn't do it consistently enough, but he should come off the bench from jump. That should be his roles. Like, you be the leader of the second unit and be that for those guys and kind of coach them up and get them together and be that veteran for them. and they didn't really use him like that. I was surprised because look how much he helped hold the Celtics together when they made their little run.
Absolutely. So, he's a great passer. He makes really good decisions. He's like a lesser version of Tim Duncan, honestly. Like,
but a lot of the moves,
he's very fundamentally sound.
Yeah, but it feels like a lot of the moves they made, like Elton Brand was trying to do the right thing, but it just didn't it never panned out. So
no, for sure,
we'll see.
That's a lot of talent. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of talent Brand got for that squad. It just, like you said, it just didn't work out. They should have never.
That was good.
They should have never let Reddick go.
Yeah, but all right. So I think we got NBA though. See, we squeezed all the toothpaste out that tube.
We had the little thing at the end.
We'll slide it down. But all right, then let's go ahead and keep it moving. And we'll do our next topic. So what's next again?
Other sports?
Oh yeah, other sports. Okay, so not football.
Yeah, not basketball. We did that already.
Oh, okay, like hockey.
Yeah, like hockey. Feel me?
Okay, like baseball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like soccer, right?
There we go.
Like soccer.
Like other sports. All right, other sports. So we definitely did want to circle back to the Dodgers. Last week we were on during that game. Dodgers World Series champs. And now Dos Angeles, they're calling it. They got the Lakers and the Dodgers both with the championships. So we're just waiting on your guys' boy Herbert and the Chargers to make it happen.
For sure.
Take the three-peat. No, but I'm playing. But that's what's up though. So baseball is pretty much over with. But I don't know if you guys did want to talk at all about the whole Turner thing. That was kind of interesting, the little COVID incident at the end of the game.
Yeah.
We touched on it a little bit last week, and I kind of shared my thoughts, but I wanted to hear what you guys thought about that.
I mean, I'm going to be devil's advocate, and I understand why he came out. Like, you don't live that moment often, if ever you get to live it again. But then again, I feel like that's irresponsible. Like, as an individual to society, like, you have COVID, like, come out in like a spacesuit or something. Like, celebrate in the moment, but be mindful of others around you. I saw the little memes after, like, the trophy now has COVID. Like, it's been confirmed the trophy now has COVID. But you have to be mindful of people around you. Like, people still have to go home to their wives and their families and their kids. Like, I just thought it was irresponsible. I mean, we know you got it. They pulled you out during the game. Like, why?
All right. I mean, yeah, I guess I feel you, but I probably would have done something similar to what he did. I mean, I'm like, I gotta be with my boys right now. And he at least had a mask on.
I mean, okay.
Oh, Great said, did I miss the Monster review? The Monster's fire, by the way. The Monster is really good. I think it would definitely be I think it'd definitely be jug worthy. So we'll see. But no, I don't know. I mean, maybe he could have put some gloves on or something like that too. I think he didn't have gloves on.
A face shield, like gloves, like just a little bit of responsibility. Like, come on,
you gotta be in a whole ass hazmat suit, like
for real.
Like it's really tough. I mean, can you imagine winning the World Series and not being able to be out there? You know what I mean? Celebrating with your team, and that sucks. I mean, it already sucks that no parades are gonna happen right now. They've already, like, for the Lakers, they asked the Lakers to wait, I think, a couple of weeks before they even really start celebrating together, you know what I mean? So they're not even really out celebrating their championship win as well. Like, it's gotta be rough, you know what I mean? Like you said, it's hard enough just to get to, the championship in any professional sport, and it's even harder to get to win it. You know what I mean? So kind of playing devil's advocate, like, I get it, but at the same time, like, COVID's nothing to mess around with. It's just something not to mess around with, man. We gotta continue to take it seriously, and yeah. You got to be out. How you feeling, Dave?
I think it was a metaphor for how pretty much everybody who's not taking this seriously feels about it.
Right.
I don't think I'm not surprised. Maybe I'm a little concerned. So
Well, that's a good segue into our other sports topic about Trevor Lawrence having COVID-19 and him being out for the Notre Dame game. And we'll see how this impacts it. You know, they basically survived last week's game. It was kind of close against BC.
I can't believe it.
It was upset alert early, but I did want to kind of ask you guys, like, this is still theoretical. They could easily go out and beat Notre Dame still too. But if they lose to Notre Dame, do you guys think that ranking should be impacted the same as if Trevor Lawrence was there?
No. But, like, that is a tough question. You know what I mean? Because Notre Dame fans are looking at it like, nah, we beat the number one team in the country. But you didn't beat the number one team in the country with the number one quarterback in the country. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a fan of either team, but I'm just like, sorry, you didn't beat the same team. And let's keep it real. Y'all gonna lose to somebody sooner or later down the road who's either not ranked. Ohio State's gonna get y'all, whatever, when they play you, whatever the case may be. Like, I don't know. We'll see. But nah, I don't think it should be affected too crazily. If they lose, they drop down to like 3 or something. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I'm kind of indifferent on the rankings, especially in 2020, man. Like, it's like a scratch, no matter what.
Well, somebody's got to make this theoretical playoff if they get there that far.
The conferences are all out of whack. We got people playing people here. But yeah, it's whatever for me.
That's what's up. What about you, David? Are you into college football at all? Or?
I refuse to watch college sports until they start paying them, so I haven't watched since 2013, maybe.
That's what's up. Okay, that's what's up. We need more people like you. I can't join that, but I'm with you in spirit.
I'm with you.
You in spirit.
I appreciate it.
Right here, David. Right here.
It's too much time. I'm gonna get caught up. I did this before. I would get caught up in trying to, watch all these games and see who's going to be drafted where and who's the right fit for what team. And being out of that is just like, it's a lot more stress that's been taken off my back. And I can just be like, oh, this is Trevor Lawrence guy. Is he supposed to be good?
That's what's up.
I did watch the last the championship game last year with Joe Burrow though. I did watch that.
Yeah.
Kind of randomly. So.
No, that's what's up. I'm getting closer and closer to that. It is a lot to keep up with. I just keep up with my Georgia Bulldogs mainly and whoever they interact with. So,
speaking of that Joe Burrow championship game, did you all see that OBJ has been banned from LSU games for the handing of the money?
As well, he should.
Yeah, that was pretty foolish. I remember that we talked about that on Slack that week. That was pretty funny.
Right, Jersey. Okay, so he shouldn't have done it like that in front of everybody.
Right.
But I agree. You should have slid old boy some money. Like, to David's point, like,
I get it, but here's the reason.
Dude,
why.
don't be slapping into their hands like that. Though.
Yeah, like he was so belligerent.
I appreciate it, but dog.
OBJ was so belligerently, he had to have been drunk. Like he was entirely too much during all of it. Like
he wanted people to see it.
He was smacking cops on the ass in the locker rooms. Like, dude, he was
trying to give
too much.
Trying to give the cop $1,000.
Like,
in the words of Kevin Hart, help me, help you. Like,
but yeah, like
the top with it.
Yeah, he was just, and that's the reason why. Like, they kind of had to do something because other colleges looking at them like, yo, like we don't have any NFL stars throwing our players money after we won a championship or whatever. Like, Bama and Clemson just won a couple championships before and nobody was back at them like handing their players money. You know what I mean? So it just looks bad.
Sean Watson's discreet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're
Mark Ingram's discreet, you know what I'm saying?
Right?
Jay.
But it's because they had to do something. You know what I mean? They had to do something. And that's what it came down to. But yeah, OBJ is a fool. You know what I mean? Like, it's his personality. It was funny to watch. It was fun to watch at the time, but it's like they had to do something.
Yeah, that was pretty funny though. All right, I had a couple of quick boxing items and combat sports items.
Oh yeah!
Did you guys see Silva?
Yeah, that hurt.
So yeah, Silva went down. Hall took him out, and then the UFC basically said that like. Dana White basically retired him for him, right? He basically said, like, we're not going to have him fight again. So, a legend gone, but I think it's time for sure.
for sure. But he's already been reincarnated though. So my boy Izzy, he's basically the next Silva in my opinion. He fights just like him. So
Yeah,
Adesanya is just like him. He's like the reincarnation. I don't know if he'll be as good because Silva, he got me into UFC. Like watching him is what got me into the UFC, and started like really watching it. Like the dude was a monster in his prime. So it kind of sucks seeing Hall was in tears after he beat him. You know what I mean? It was like they constantly talked about like when your idols become your rivals, and like he was in tears, like apologizing for beating up his, you know what I'm saying, like his idol. So that just goes to show like how much of an impact and respect Silva's had on the sport of MMA. So it's kind of crazy, but it's overdue. Honestly, I think when he fought Adesanya, I think that should have been his last fight. But the will of a fighter, man.
Trying to get them checks, apparently, too.
exactly, dude.
I'm like, dog, he's like Pacquiao out here. He's like the Pacquiao UFC. Like, I love my boy, but he keeps trying to get more and more checks. Like, dang. Which I still want to know, is that going to happen, Pacquiao and McGregor?
I haven't heard anything since they first brought it up.
Got you. I don't know. I think McGregor's eyeing another boxing fight because he knows he's trying to get his money up.
Absolutely, get that payout.
Yeah. But
he's not getting his money for those whiskey commercials?
Dog, no, actually he's making a killing. He has a big investment in that Proper 12, apparently. He's like a big owner in it, and they're actually like doing really well. So we'll see. So also though in boxing, so Michaela Mayer, I watched that fight this weekend. She won the championship. She did her thing, but they actually didn't have a belt to give her. Like they didn't have it was a championship belt, but her opponent that she won it from left it in their dressing room and like basically like didn't bring it out. So she didn't actually still get like to actually take a picture with the belt or anything like that. I thought that was pretty whack.
Yeah, that's pretty whack.
Absolutely.
That's what happens when you're dealing with Bob Arum and Top Rank Promoting. Like they're trying to get their stuff together, but that was messed up, I think. And then also
do that. It's like, we left the Stanley Cup in our locker room. Sorry.
You're like, you go get it. Like your locker room's right over there.
You're supposed to bring that with you. Like this is a championship fight. Like what are you doing?
And even to me too, even if you like, if you're afraid you're gonna lose, but even if you win, you want it right there so you can put it on. Like
Right.
So that was that whole thing was kind of weird. Maybe she had a feeling she was gonna lose. I don't know. But then also Gervonta Tank Davis.
They can't take it. Like don't make any sense.
Apparently, I don't know. So she still hasn't gotten it, apparently. So, but the other fight I did want to talk about was Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't know if you guys saw this knockout, this uppercut. It's nasty.
Dude.
And it's funny, man. He's been a long time coming. He's been on a lot of pay-per-views with Mayweather on the undercard. He had a couple where he missed weight like a long time ago, but he's definitely gotten it all together, and he is a beast, man. So that was pretty tight to see that. I didn't pay for the fight, but I definitely saw that replay.
The uppercut was definitely nothing nice. You know what I mean? It was he gave it to him and dude went to sleep right away, like instantly. It was crazy. That was a good fight for real.
He's like that Dave Chappelle skit when he's fighting the dinosaur and he's just like, "Bow!"
Exactly.
Which apparently that's supposed to be coming on to Netflix too. I think they're putting on all the episodes.
It's on HBO Max already.
Okay, that's what's up. I think I got that on a free trial or something, probably somewhere.
I've been watching it every night before I go to bed, man. The laughs have been endless.
That's what's up, man. That brings me back every time I watch the Chappelle show. Like it's just too good. But all right, I think it's time for this or that though.
Yes, sir.
We'll do a quick round of this or that.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so this or that. Would you rather have to guard Stephen Curry or have to tackle Derrick Henry?
Oh, I'm guarding Steph Curry all day. I'm guarding Steph Curry all day. I'm not about to get obliterated by it. Did you see what Derrick Henry did to Josh Norman? Like, that's a grown-ass man. That's a grown-ass man. Bruh. I'm guarding Steph because at the end of the day, all that stuff go by me. I ain't tackling Derrick. Y'all crazy. Got your mind. Have me tackling Derrick Henry. All 6'6", 240 pounds of that man. Oh, I was tripping.
A locomotive coming straight at you.
Wait, how tall is he? He's not. You said 6'6"?
Yeah, he's like 6'4", 6'4", 6'5", 6'4". Yeah,
Big.
I was like, dude, he towers over everybody in the huddle.
No, he's
even the lineman.
Yeah, he's the same. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Derek
man.
is 6'3", 238.
Okay, you guys, this is gonna sound crazy. No, if I had to pick, I would pick Curry because I mean, yeah, you'll get footage of me. Like, I'm not gonna break my ankles or anything. I'll just stand there while he either shoots or drives. You know, because if the goal is like you just have to defend him, but you don't have to like stop him, then that's okay. I'll stand there. But which one would I rather like the challenge of? Dude, that'd be tight actually to try to tackle Derrick Henry. Like if you had full pads and everything, like I would actually kind of want to try that, dude. Like, you know, remember that old Nike commercial, the Michael Vick experience, when they like strapped you into the shoulder pad?
Yeah.
It'd be like, yeah, dude, you're just going up against Derrick Henry. Dude, that would be pretty funny though. Like that would be, I don't know, man. I mean, I would have to like, I don't know. I think it'd be tight though.
It's funny because like the competitive nature of me, you know what I mean, man. I play both sports, you know what I mean. So like it would be fun, and when you have full pads on, like obviously I'm getting trucked, but as soon as I go back downward, I'm grabbing his ankles. But like with Steph, like I think I could actually play like legit defense on Steph. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's still going by me, but I think I have a lot better chance at stopping Steph from scoring than I do not getting trucked by Derrick Henry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if it's a competition, like okay, like for like $1 million, you either need to hold Steph Curry under 10 points or tackle Derrick Henry. Like I'm probably gonna try to tackle Derrick Henry because I have a better chance to just smash into him and hold on. You know?
True.
That's exactly why I would take tackling Derrick Henry. I know I'm probably not going to stop him. Maybe I could slow him down. I'm going to have other teammates that are going to help me. I don't think there's anything I could do to stop Steph Curry. I'm not even 6 feet tall.
Right.
I'm already at a disadvantage. I'm built more like a running back, so I don't know. Maybe I can throw a little oomph against Derrick Henry.
I think you can tackle him. For sure, man.
Man, don't lie to that, man. You see what he did? You see what he did?
What about if we both get to tackle him together? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, you have teammates. It's not one person on defense. It's one person on offense.
So what you're saying is it's not Oklahoma drills? So it's not Oklahoma drills.
Because he'd be up before I'm even getting up.
One-on-one.
I've done Oklahoma drills. I think I would still. I feel like I wouldn't be as embarrassed tackling Derrick Henry as I would be trying to defend Steph Curry. He's gonna run circles around me. At least Derrick Henry's got to run through me. I could say like, "Oh, I tried."
Yeah, exactly.
Just put my face into the dirt.
I'm with you on that one.
Man, I weigh 185, 187 after I eat.
188 soaking wet. He's like,
you know what I'm saying? But I do know what you're saying though. I mean, like I've definitely had to tackle dudes way bigger than me before. You know what I mean? So I guess it's not much different. It's just you. It's just funny because we watched Derrick Henry week in, week out, making these grown ass men defenders look like children. You know what I mean? So,
but what about this one? Tackle Henry or be tackled by James Harrison?
Yeah, say tackle Henry. I'm tackling
Henry.
Yeah,
James Harrison is like one of 6 guys I'm terrified of.
Yeah, nah, man. James Harrison's a monster. Even at the age he's at right now, retired, I still see him in his workouts. It's insane. Dude benches like 500 pounds. You know how strong you gotta be to bench 500 pounds? Like it's crazy.
That was a fun this or that though, for sure. I can just see it. I can see it now, dude. I'm tackling Derrick Henry, dog. I swear.
Dude, I remember. So a good buddy of mine who I played football with, my sophomore year in high school, I was on varsity. But of course, at that point in time, I'm even smaller than I am now, right? I'm 130, maybe, like at that point in time. And we had this dude on our team. His name's Adrian Conway. Big time ambassador for what's that Whitney thing that I can't stand?
What do you mean?
CrossFit. So like he's been on the CrossFit Games, ESPN. Like dude's an absolute monster. So in high school when he was a senior and I was a sophomore, he started both ways. He played middle linebacker and he was our like all-star running back, right? And I remember my very first day of practice, I'm playing free safety, and he gets past everybody right on the offensive side. So I'm playing scout defense. He's the starting running back, gets past the line, gets past the linebacker, and it's just me and him.
Business
Man,
decision time.
Dog, yeah, absolutely. I might have peed a little bit that day. Like, I was dead ass serious. Like, dude he was a tank, man. And even now, like, I'll send you guys a picture of him so you can see what he looks like now. And he obviously is a lot more like kind of chiseled and more buff, but back then you look at it like there was no difference, and he just ran me the hell over. And same thing, I tackled him because I just grabbed up his ankles as he ran me over. But dude, it's a different kind of fear, man. I was like, I'm about to die. That's how I felt.
If you make contact, you never know what that might do. It might trip him up. You know, you might get run over.
Right.
I don't think doing anything like getting a hand in the face of Steph Curry's gonna stop him. That guy can shoot with one hand behind his back.
Oh yeah, easily.
With blindfolds on.
Yeah.
From the logo.
From the logo, from half court.
Anthony said, I can't tackle Henry on Madden.
Oh man. All right then. Well, that's what's up. That was a good this or that for sure. I think it's time for final say. I don't really have much for final say other than I just wanted to say, regardless of whatever happens tonight, you know what I'm saying, just, approach people with love, you know what I'm saying? And remember, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want our family and our loved ones to be good, you know what I'm saying, be healthy and live good lives. So let's just, definitely keep it at that. I got my man, the great Gonzo here. Yeah, Muppet Baby style. So that's our guest on the couch. And you know what I'm saying, he's pretty dope. So I just picked him today, no rationale other than he was right here. So
well, he's cool.
Right today.
And he got a red fit on, so he kind of patriotic. So
there you go. Yeah, there you go. See, helping me make my justifications, Myra. I appreciate you.
Making connections. I got you.
But all right, though. But what do y'all have for final say? Anything you want to touch on before we peace out of here?
Yeah, when we get a chance to figure this all out, Slac meetup coming soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna figure this out, how we can do it, see where COVID's at in a couple months or so, probably obviously next year, but Slac meetup coming soon. Hopefully we can get as many people to come out and chill with us for a weekend or so, like in Vegas or something.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of thinking about too. Yeah, I think I do want to see how many people would be interested and we'll maybe start to poll a little bit and see what we can make happen. That would be dope.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to Vegas since March 6th. It was right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
But Pops and I would have been to Vegas at least a couple more times this year. So yeah, we'll see. That might be pretty cool. I don't know. They'll have plenty of hotel rooms.
That they will.
So, all right. Well, David, thank you again for coming through. Do you want to plug Church of Hops a little bit? You guys talk about that.
Nah, that's fine.
Yeah. we're on a little bit of a hiatus. We're rebranding. We're rebranding. So we'll talk about it a little more when we get our rebrand on.
Okay. All right, that's what's up.
It's almost time for them tamales, enchilada style. Oh, that's right, Grace. You already know what it is. Get it popping.
Yes, it is almost tamale time. That's what's up. I'm gonna be putting in lots of orders.
Absolutely.
That's for
absolutely. Sure. Grace, I'm gonna come see you for real. Don't play with me.
So, man, and then David, how about this with tamales? Right? Do you like tamales?
I do. Yeah.
Gosh, please ask me the question.
Do you like having an olive in your tamale?
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
But have you heard of having an olive in your tamale?
I have heard of some. Yeah.
Okay. All right, because Myra had never heard of that.
I have never heard of that. Ever. And I am authentic Mexican.
Apparently you're only Tex-Mex. Apparently you're only
Yeah, it's like, where do olives fit in like Mexican cuisine? I've seen them on taco salad. That's about it.
Yeah,
I don't think that's really Mexican food, is it?
And
sure.
drinks.
Martinis.
Alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Like
it's funny because like me and Ada both like we've seen them in tamales all the time, but we never said we prefer it. We just said we have seen it.
Right. I don't like it. I have to stipulate no olives, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So we call so in Texas it's called Tex-Mex. What's it called in Arizona? Like Arimex? Because that's definitely an Arizona thing.
No,
That's not like worldwide, international. Like it's not.
Well, that's why I got to keep asking people, because maybe it is an Arizona thing and I just don't know because I've been here all my life. I don't know, but I'll have to ask more people.
Straight facts.
We'll see. We're on the border too. We got it like that too, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But all right, then I think that's it for Say Like a Champ, episode 62. I think we've covered the gambit. Definitely want to appreciate everybody being with us. Definitely have everybody checking in. Oh, Anthony West says she's never heard of it either. His wife's never heard of it.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
Right. This is a pretty dope episode. We actually got to talk a lot more than what I thought we were going to be able to talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely gonna go and burn this shirt.
Good riddance.
Put it on the Macari store real quick, dude. You can put that.
And auction it off. Like
I might give it to Ricky. Who knows? We'll see.
Say Like a Champ podcast worn Steelers shirt.
Hey, Strizzy, let's do a TikTok
podcast
real quick. Podcast worn, yeah, not game worn.
Podcast worn. Hour and 40 minutes. I wore for an hour and 40 minutes.
Yo, let's do this TikTok. You can maybe do it on TikTok. Talk to us about that. Where are you at so far?
Oh man, I just passed 9,600 followers today. So I'm like 400 away from 10K. Dude, I'm telling you, once I got to 9,000, it just like really slowed up. But a lot of creators are talking about they think it's because right now TikTok has halted allowing more creators into the TikTok Creator Fund. So once you get
what happens at 10K?
Yeah. So once you get to 10,000, so I think they're right. They're kind of halting it on people so that they keep them from like applying because they're not allowing anybody in right now. But I'm like, I don't give a damn. Just let me continue my following up. Keep me in the algorithm. You know what I mean? So that's all I really care about. I'll apply when I can. But once you have 10,000 followers, have over 100,000 views, and there's one other criteria. Oh, you have to be 18 or over. Then you can get into the TikTok Creator Fund. I meet every criteria except for the 10,000 portion of it. So, man, I'm trying to keep it popping. Grace says you walking in that pool. Yo, that water was ice cold. You have any idea how hard it was to keep a straight face when I walked into that pool?
Video was so dope. Congratulations. I felt like a Sarah McLachlan, like Save the Pets at Night video at midnight when I saw that.
Wow, man, my team is trash. But
like, Strizzy, I feel like I gotta send you some money. Like
for only $7 a month, you can
for reals, dude. But like, no, for real, I got into I just had to just walk into it because I knew if I would have touched it, it wasn't gonna happen. So I literally was I had my oldest daughter help me record it. So I was giving her instructions on what to do. And I literally just walked into the water, got hit and was like, huh. Then I had to grab it from her for the second clip or whatever. So see me face one, a face value type walking into the water and then give it back to her as me going fully submerged into it. But man, keeping a straight face while I did that, it was so cold, man. It was already freezing. Then I got to walk back to the apartment in wet clothes. Oh, it was horrible.
Dedication, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the dedication.
I know the things I do for 2 laughs.
At least 3 or 4, dog. Come on now.
You're right.
No, but we might have to walk down 400 people and have them follow you manually, dog. We'll make this happen one way or another.
For sure, dude.
We don't need no algorithm.
People really do that on Instagram, though. I get wild stuff in my DM.
I'm sure.
That's not what I meant. People with 1 follower send me a message my boy, Lil Puppy just released a new song. Go follow his page. He's following people back. The hell with the algorithm. Get a street team together, Strizzy. Have people start sharing that message. My boy Strizzy.
Well, the funny thing is, a lot of my followers already kind of share my videos and stuff. So they're actually really, really cool. I need a street team. Sounds actually pretty fun. So, but yeah, man, the people who have been following me have been great. They're super interactive on my posts. They share my posts, stuff like that. So,
Anthony.
No, for real. But yeah, man, it's been fun, dude. YouTube's starting to grow too. I went from 45 subscribers to 90. So I'm trying to get to 100. Just promoting, trying to, even the smallest bit of growth is, good to me. So I'm cool with it. It's been fun though.
Grace says she's waiting on that Alex video. Grace, do not hold your breath because your boy ain't doing no TikTok dances anytime soon.
No, we talked about it though. We gotta get some videos rolling for the Slac TikTok and just A-Dub in general. So don't hold your breath, Grace, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. I'm getting my boy involved. It's gonna happen.
We'll see. All right. On that note, I think we're out though. Again, appreciate our special guest, David, coming through. David 19.
Absolutely, my boy.
Hey, thanks to you guys. So, Alex, Chris, Myra, thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Of course. It's been a long time coming. I've been talking about getting you on for a long time. Just haven't pulled the trigger, so that's my bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take fault on that. I'll take fault on that.
After everything I texted you.
Oh man, but we rectified the situation. We'll definitely have to have you come back and check in though too in a couple weeks to see what's going on with the squads. So, all right then. But I am A-Dub. That was Say Like a Champ, episode 62.
It's your boy Strizzy as always.
It's the girl Myra May and our special guest,
David.
And in honor of super producer Marcus, it's Taco Tuesday. Peace out, everybody.
Tuesday, y'all.
so